One of the things I want to talk about real quick is the order in which you perform your exercises when doing a superset. So the first thing is, what is a superset? Superset is just basically picking two exercises back to back for the same muscle group and performing them without rest. There's a lot of benefits to doing so, and you can really enhance the return you get on your investment of time and effort by sequencing the exercises appropriately. So I'll talk about that. So the first thing is, if you want to build muscle, you want to recruit and fatigue as many muscle fibers as possible throughout a muscle's entirety. Second thing is, there's three factors that will stimulate growth: mechanical tension, muscle damage, and metabolic stress. So a superset kind of facilitates all of that. It will subject the muscles to high levels of tension, generally in more than one position. It will damage the muscles or inflict damage if you do enough reps, if you do enough weight, so volume. And then it can also increase metabolic stress, and generally if you're doing a superset, that's what you want to do in the first place. You want to perform a lot of reps and increase the demand on the muscles via metabolic stress. You would never just do one or two reps of an exercise and then one or two of another one. There might be some purposes for that, but generally not to stimulate growth. So the order in which you do your exercises, though, can really maximize the return you get on your investment of time and effort. A lot of people will do supersets without any rhyme or reason. There's no structure to them. They just kind of do different exercises and hope for the best. Now, first thing is, hope is not a strategy. It's not going to be a very effective one anyways. Will hard work pay off? Yeah, but calculated hard work will probably pay off more. So another thing to take into consideration is that a muscle's capacity to produce force is greatest when it's at or near its mid-range, and it's lowest when it's in its shortest and longest positions. So we could take all this information into consideration when sequencing the exercises we do or we include in a superset to maximize our return on investment of time and effort. So what you want to do is, the first exercise should be one in which you subject the muscle to high levels of tension in its shortest range. Since it's weakest in that range, it's hardest to get into that range. So we want to ensure that the muscle is taxed throughout its entirety by starting off with an exercise that subjects it to high levels of tension in one of its weakest positions and the hardest one to get the muscle into. We want to finish a superset with an exercise that subjects the muscle to high levels of tension in its longest position, because that's its other weakest position, and it's a lot easier to get into the longest position to train a muscle. On top of all the benefits discussed above, if I can call it that, one of the major benefits to sequencing your exercises in this fashion is that when you pump a muscle and then you stretch it under load, all that blood that flushes into the muscle is going to exert outward pressure onto the cells. The cells are going to perceive this as a threat to their integrity, to which they're going to respond by getting bigger and stronger. How does it do this? Well, loaded stretching will increase IGF-1 receptor sensitivity. So that in itself will promote growth. So there you have it. That's one way that you can sequence the exercise you do in your superset to maximize the return you get on investment of time and effort, at least if you want to build muscle. So you're not just kind of doing things without any fucking rhyme or reason and hoping for the best. If you like the information, feel free to share it. Click the fucking button at the bottom, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep bringing you the best.